Welcome back to House of Katara. Today, we're going to make some thumbprint cookies. So, to get this out of the way, I had some technical issues with my microphone. Namely, I didn't check the lapel mic charge, and partially way through recording the initial video, it died. I didn't realize this, so I'm having to record this in a post-edit session. But here I've gathered all the ingredients: butter, brown sugar, 2 sets of white sugar. The smaller bowl is what I will incorporate into the mix, and the more full bowl will be to roll everything in. There's an egg there that I'll have to separate out the yolk. A little bit of salt up in the top left, vanilla powder top right, and then the flour that's going to go into the mix. The first thing we're going to do is mix in some slightly melted butter and go ahead and get the paddle going to churn it up. Scrape the remaining butter out of the bowl into the mixing bowl. Yule is one of our favorite holidays, as we like to really celebrate, although this year we're going to tone back the food at least. We've had full-on feasts and bloats many nights, but this year we're just going to separate it out and have a little snack or one nice thing every night, not a full-blown heavy meal. Alright, now we're going to add in some brown sugar and the white sugar, and we're going to go ahead and mix this all together. Add in the egg yolk. Go ahead and scrape that in there. Need to find a recipe to use the egg white that didn't get used. And we'll add in the vanilla powder. It called for vanilla extract. We don't have any, so just going with the powder. A little bit does go a long way. And we're back to mixing. Scrape the sides of the bowl. Make sure all of the sugars and the vanilla get incorporated. And go ahead and scrape the beater, since I can see some of the vanilla powder sticking there. And now we're going to add some flour. Scrape the sides of the bowl. You'll see a common theme, and if you bake a lot with a mixer, you know this step well. And yet more flour. Just a little bit of salt. And go ahead and add in the rest of the flour. Mix this all together. And we get to make the cookies. While making this, I'm also making something of a mess, but that's to be expected. I'm sure even professional kitchens have big messes, and for this particular recipe, I'm a one-man chef. Alright, it is time to make the cookie balls. I am going to be using an ice cream scoop to try and keep everything nice and consistent. Scoop it out of the bowl, roll it around in my hand, pressing it a little bit, forming it into a ball. Rolling it into the sugar to coat it. and then giving it a nice thumbprint, hence the name of the cookie. Alright, with the last of the cookies formed, these are going to go into the freezer for about 30 minutes. At the end of that time, we'll go ahead and preheat the oven, throw these guys into the oven, and bake. After they come out, we'll get the ganache going. Alright, time to pull the cookies out of the oven. They have spread out a little bit. The recipe does suggest to re-indent a little bit with a spoon. Go ahead and do that here. Go ahead and let these guys cool for a little bit, and then we'll make some ganache. Back in a few. Welcome back. Alright, I have gone ahead and let the cookies cool for a little bit. So the last step, at least in terms of cooking, is going to be making the ganache. I've not really done this before, so this is going to be an adventure. We're going to combine about 1/2 tablespoon of butter, 1 cup of chocolate chips, and 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And we're going to melt this down until it's nice and smooth, and then we'll have a little bit more to add in. The recipe for this ganache does call for some bourbon, but since neither I or Katara are particularly heavy drinkers, let alone bourbon fans, I'm going to give that a skip, I think. We're just going to add a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of salt to this. We're going to bring this up to heat. Okay, that looks to be done, at least to my eye. Let's go ahead and throw in the salt. Vanilla. Alright, we're going to let that sit for just a few minutes. And we'll start spooning it into the cookies. Back in a few. Alright, the final step in the process, we're going to add a little bit of ganache into the thumbprint of every cookie here. There we go! Thumbprint cookies with chocolate ganache added. Just need to let that chocolate ganache harden. I'm not going to stick it in the fridge, so it does say that this should take about an hour, give or take. We'll come back around then, see what we're looking at, and I'm going to go through round 2 of cleanup in the kitchen. Alright, the moment of truth. The cookies have cooled along with the ganache, so now we're going to test them out. Katara is here, and she's going to give her opinion on the cookies as well. Good.
Not bad for a first attempt.
The ganache is still a little soft, which is nice. I like the sugar.
I don't like the sugar that's rolled in. No, I don't care for that at all.
More for me. Taste-wise, the shortbread is good. I do like the cookies. So we'll have some snacks throughout Yule. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, let us know in the comments what you thought. Is there anything you would like us to try? If you're able to, go ahead and buy us a coffee. But happy holidays, and we'll catch you in the next video.